Good afternoon, everybody. What is up, peeps? Let me just double check and make sure we are where we're supposed to be. We are. All right. Well, it's a balmy afternoon here in Western Pennsylvania, about 37 degrees. So, it could be a lot worse. We're not like in Florida or nothing like that, but no complaints. Today, kind of like an open true crime Q&A, questions about me. I encourage, I guess told you guys before, I want you to know much about me as possible. I think you could get more from my channel, understand me more. I know when I understand people more, I could take more from what they're saying. So hopefully you guys do the same. Anyways, let's say hi to everybody and I'll get to what I have and then like kind of free flow with this, I think is what I want to do today. So, oh no. They're back. The chat disappeared momentarily. You know, I'm like Elon Musk when it comes to computers, so I was able to fix that real quick. Let's say hi to everybody. CJK, Rock Chalk. What's up, Night Shadow? Sandy's working on her van. Hopefully not down by the river. Just Deb, what is up? How are you? Jill Moser. How are you doing, Jill? Remember, Jill, tough people last. Tough times don't. Jinx, always. Hi, Jinx. As I always say. If I have another friend in here, I will do their salutation. I give them all the time based on their name. What's up, Julian? How are you doing? The unscrupulous Ashley Schaefer. How are you doing, my friend? Very talented and funny. I love people that make spoofs. Even if they make them about me, I think it's funny too. If they're funny. If they're dumb, then they're not dumb. But I have a sense of humor, so I can certainly laugh about myself. Carol Murray, how are you? Absolutely. What's up, Lone Pony? How are you doing? Cindy. Grizz, I don't know if you did this or not. Did you do Frank's? Frank shared a thing. I was just gonna say, Jinx, share Grizz's thing. Jinx is way ahead of me though. She's smarter than I am. Grizz does a ton of cool shit, great music, puts really cool videos to music that like hits right. So he is definitely on his on his P's and Q's, I guess you would say. All right. A couple things real quick before we dive into open chat. You can ask questions all day you want. You could do that anytime on this channel, but I wanted everyone to kind of know that today and kind of announce it. There's Grizz saying hello to everybody. So maybe Grizz could fill us in. Frank Meister has a pretty cool opening thing he shared. I don't know if that's on Facebook or not. Hold on one second. I got to text my secretary treasurer Munsonator about a meeting coming up Monday. There we go. Oh, hell was breaking loose, as it does every couple of days in our union, and we kind of try to settle things down a little bit. But you put our heads together like everywhere else. I think that's important. That's why I told anyone I got all the floor stuff if you want it. I've sent a couple creators that have asked for it. I've even sent people that aren't creators it, because I think the more you look at it, the more eyes on it, the better. So let's talk about real quick the defense. The defense team, Rosie and Baldwin. Well, Rosie, that's a head of hair on that guy, huh? That guy has a fantastic head of hair. Being a phallically challenged or follically challenged, I did that once before. I don't think I'm phallically challenged, not yet. No, I'll be turning 45 this year, and we're good there. Follically wise, I struggle, and I have for a while. I owe that to Michigans. We all shaved our heads in 8th grade to be like the Fab Five. So, anyways, I digress. So, talking about Ron Logan, the ode and the sacrifice, I don't believe that it's Ron Logan on a bridge. I don't believe it was an ode and a sacrifice. But however, there's, you can make that argument. There's evidence that's been presented. We haven't heard all the evidence yet. We don't know what the prosecution has to say, but we're okay with that. I'm okay with anyone that disagrees like that on a case with me. Our issue, again, is the people that blame the families. So my question to people that think the families are involved, Maybe they murdered 2 girls to open a ball field and make money from, which I don't know. God, I'd have to swim in the shallow end of the pool to even try to understand that, because it makes no sense. There's no logic to it. But anyway, the defense has not mentioned the family being involved. Law enforcement has not mentioned the family being involved. No news outlet, nobody like that has ever mentioned the family being involved. So my question to the people that think that the family's involved, are the defense part of this conspiracy? Because if they're not, then are they not good at doing their jobs? And I really think that everyone, whether you think Richard Allen's guilty or not, you got to have a level of respect for the defense and what they're getting done. You might think it's nefarious. You might think it's above board, whatever. That's all fine and dandy for me. But if they're not bringing the family up and you believe that the family's involved, maybe Kelsey said, I love you to the girls, and in some way, shape, or form, mentioning that in a police interview invokes any kind of guilt is I don't know. I think I would just call it buffoonery. It's buffoonery. I don't understand it. But is the defense involved then? So for the people to blame the family, I just wonder that, is the defense involved? Are they part of the conspiracy, or are they just shitty? Because when you put this out there and you say this, you have to look at everything that you're going with. Let's run it down and let's see. So again, despite attempts from different people, creators, people that have, they're just in chats, and they say this about the families, they have offered zero proof. None. There is none. No one believes it, really, and to perpetuate a thing like this it's disheartening to the human race, I think. But I see so many other people that on both sides. And I think Richard Allen's innocent. I know the family's not involved, but I think Richard Allen's innocent. No problem. We could discuss and chop that up, because we need to go back and forth. Maybe I'll pick something up, they'll pick something up, whatever you want to do. But again, so is the defense team in on it? So we're up to about 100 people in a conspiracy now. And I don't know, Frank Meister, there's a guy, one of the guys that's on the board for the field. Because despite what people think, the Patty family does not own a baseball field. I can't think of any privately owned baseball fields in the country other than the place in Iowa that was Field of Dreams was done. I've coached on hundreds of fields, and it's the city owns it, and who takes care of it. Mostly where we play, the cities or boroughs own it, and they take care of it, meaning cut the grass. The coaches go out and line the fields. The coaches do that. No one gets paid for that. One of the chats I was in, I mentioned umpires. When I coached them baseball, I've been coaching baseball about 7 or 8 years. My kids were younger. Probably about 5 years. And the umpires were $70 a game. And once you hit a certain age, we had to have 2. So that's $140 a game for umpires. Girls softball may be a little bit cheaper, but when you get older and you have to have 2 umps, that's a huge cost. It's just outlandish claims. There's zero proof. No one ever wants to say any proof. We ask for proof. You show, people will show pictures of your kids, which is fine. Do what you want to fucking do, because I'm an open book. But at the end of the day, you're missing it. You're just missing the whole thing. You're missing the whole point. Someone asked me if Delphi, Richard Allen, let's say Richard Allen admits to being guilty. He gets up and he pontificates on everything and tells everybody, I'm sorry, this is what I did. People still won't believe it. If he's adjudicated guilty by a jury of his peers, regardless of the evidence, this is all fixed. So now the jury's involved. So now your conspiracy is up to like 200 people. If that's what you believe, I think some people will take it and say, okay, he's found guilty. Let's go on to the next case. Let's work the next thing. If there's, Keegan Kline right now, he has appeals and things like that. And if this guy's sentenced for 2 murders, you can have more appeals than a CSAM, I would think. But hey, roll with it, move on, and go to the next thing. And a lot of people that disagree maybe with me on this case, maybe the next case we'll agree on. Okay. Someone in my comments a while back said, well, what's the difference between Delphi and JonBenet Ramsey? And I said, it's apples and oranges. Come to think of it, it's like apples and baseball bats. It's so different. Nobody in law enforcement believes that the family was involved here. Did they initially? Maybe they did. I don't know. But they rule things out, right? We talked about Shane Evans on the stage. He looks fucking like he's having a heart attack. But you move on from that because you use Google or DuckDuckGo, and you could see that he was at another meeting that day. And all these things that are said are so easily proven. All you got to do is look it up and do your own research. Even when I'm telling you stuff right now, go look up what I just told you to make sure it's right. Keep me clean and keep me honest too. what I'm going to get into too, I'm going to hear in a second. I'm going to lay this out and I'm going to get back into the chat. People are saying that the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit has said that this was Odinist or Nordic beliefs or whatever the words were used. Here's the straight dope and here's the skinny on that. The FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit have never, and I quote, never publicly or in any paperwork that we have seen released to the public have commented on this case whatsoever. That includes the Franks motion. They did not say that in the Franks motion. I'm going to show you who said it, and I'm going to show you why it's weird that they named this guy. So let me say hi to everybody here, and I'm going to pull a couple things up to show you guys regarding this. A lot of chatters in here. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, it is Grizz working on Frank's. Check out Frank. If Frank had it on Facebook or his page, it's really cool. It has the Frankenstein Frank head. I don't even know. We got to come up with a name for that. That Frank symbol. Let's come up with a name for that. We'll think of something funny. Yeah, I don't know. I heard people say, "Oh, they were only joking." Well, I joke about things, but it's never about blowing up a memorial ballpark. Right? That takes you down a path that I'm not in. Yeah, city or county always owns them, unless you're talking like major league ballparks or college ballparks. There's no privately owned ballparks, not in this country anyway, that I know of, unless someone has one in their backyard. Now, if I hit the Powerball and had fuck you money, I'd put a ballpark in, at least for home run derby, for wiffle ball. I'd put a basketball court in, a pool, and that type of stuff. But it's just so, I mean, you don't even need to debunk it. You know, it was never bunked in the first place, if you would. So let me show you a couple of things here, and I'll probably post them out of order because you know how I am technologically speaking. Oh, someone sent me a message, and they weren't being mean about it, but they said that, oh, whatever Ruckus says, you say, you know, and I agree with a lot with what Ruckus says. And he had a really cool live last night, I thought. One thing we disagree on, though, is Ruckus is a Prel guy for his hair, and I'm a VO5 hot oil guy. So there, we're a little bit different. The two beautiful heads of hair that me and him have. He said in our chat, if we bent over, it would look like two assholes. Funny's funny, guys. Even if it's about you, sometimes you have to laugh. Sometimes you have to laugh. Let's make sure everything's pulled up here. There we go. Okay, and again, this is yeah, I took it from Reddit. I don't go in there too much anymore. This was within an interview to the murder sheet. I'm going to show you what Major Click said. Then I'm going to show you what's actually in the Franks motion. So people that are saying the BAU said this, now they might have well have said it, and that might come out. But you can't say that now because it just simply is not true right now, okay? Click initial question with the murder sheet. There are two things I'd like to clear up immediately. So this great work of art, as these guys called it themselves, they didn't even know where the police worked at. Detective Ferenczi, Detective Murphy were not Rushville cops. And I make things super big, guys, because I can't see anything when people put it on. So that's why this lettering is the font's on like 1 zillion. Detective Ferenczi, he was the guy that was killed outside of the FBI building, and Detective Murphy were not Rushville police. Detective Ferenczi was a detective from Terre Haute Police Department, was assigned to the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. So the defense had this all fucked up, okay? Detective Murphy was an Indiana State Police detective, also assigned to the Joint Task Force. All right? So let's go back up. Actually, let's do this. I used to screw up doing that. Now the order, I'm not exactly sure because I think it is you know how I roll. This isn't really huge. I'll read it to you real fast. I'm not going to blow it up. We just did our jobs, followed every lead we had. We conducted an investigation the way investigations need to be completed. Granted, we're not dedicated to this investigation because the families of Abby and Libby and the community of Delphi deserve justice. As for the allegation against correctional officers, listen, those correctional officers are idiots for wearing patches like that. They're idiots. They should not be allowed to. whether I think Richard Allen's guilty or not. They should not be allowed to wear those, and they're not. Okay, this is the end of that comment that I uploaded out of order, because like I said, when it comes to computer work, I'm like Elon Musk. To the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. So the FBI was associated with the investigation until at least 2021. Now, I know people say this one and that one kicked the FBI out. I find that hugely intriguing. I don't know. I have no proof either way of that. I have no proof either way. He says, secondly, no one in law enforcement believes that Abby and Libby were killed in a ritual sacrifice. That is the defense twisting facts for sensationalism. You can quote me on those two items. And then the murder sheet responds with their next comment. Now, he does not believe it was an odious sacrifice, but let me show you the rest of this too. Let me show you the rest of this. And let me make sure I have it here. Sensationalized, him and Murphy are on a pedestal. I hope I have that one here. If not, I'm going to surmise it, but it's very important to give you the other part of that too. Even though the other part of that doesn't jive with what he said he's not really going to say anything because he doesn't want to screw up the investigation and that type of thing. So this is just a general, I guess I didn't send that one. I apologize, but I'm going to surmise it because it's very important for you guys to hear both sides of that. Let me get down here. Some people have suggested that while you disagree with the defense, this is it, that it was a ritual murder, that you have agreement with with them on who is responsible. Is that something you can speak to? So the murder sheet question here is basically, you don't think it was an odious sacrifice. We understand that. You think the defense twisted the facts for sensationalism. But do you believe the people that are being investigated as committing an odious sacrifice actually are involved? The Major Click says, yes, that is accurate. Okay. So I had to show you both ends of that. And I think that's very important. Other people may show you one or the other part, but that is both ends. That is Major Click, who headed up this odious report or whatever. Not the odious. There was an odious report from the FBI too, I understand. But he investigated the odious angle. The Brad Holder, Elvis Fields, Westfall, Messer, all those folks. So he was saying, yeah, I don't believe that. No one in law enforcement believes it's odinism. However, we do believe that those people may be involved. Now, if you'll just bear with me real quick, I want to show you one or two other things real fast. And of course, I clicked on the second one first because I'm Coach Kev, and that's what I do. Okay, we're going to blow this up. This is from the Frank's memo. And what's interesting, and again, being like Nikola Tesla when it comes to computers, if there's a thing you want to look up in a Frank's memo, a specific thing, if you have it downloaded, usually whatever software you're using, there's a little search thing at the top. You could click a name. I click BAU, and it'll show you everywhere it says BAU, and it'll be highlighted. Okay. So this is from the Frank's memo. And again, for all intents and purposes, and I'm no Johnny Cochran, okay, so don't quote me on this, but it appears that this here is basically out of play now, unless there's an appeal, because they're not granting it. They're not granting the Frank's memo. What did I just do? So it's going to be hard for them to, even they can argue this. This is their argument. This is what they're going to argue. I find it interesting. They didn't mention Ron Logan, didn't mention Keegan Klein. I'll get back to that in a second. So they're saying not only did the prosecution withhold the letter from the defense, but law enforcement also withheld several other exculpatory pieces of evidence, including an 85-page compilation of reports by Click prepared in 2019 and several videos containing statements that support the defense theory of Richard Allen's innocent. This 85-page report detailed the investigative work performed by Click, Ferenczi, Murphy, and others, including the FBI. This is the odious report that everyone says the Barbara McDonald had. And everyone that thought Richard Allen was innocent was blasting Barbara McDonald. Oh, she has this, she has that. Well, now she's up on everyone's shoulders being carried around because apparently she thinks Ron Logan did it. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. I don't disagree with Barbara McDonald, but I don't know that I hate her. You know what I mean? And obviously she has more information than me, but we'll go from there. Here's the part I want to show you. According to the summary of Click's investigation that he attached with his letter, Okay. So according to the summary of Click's investigation that he attached with his letter. So he sent a letter to McClelland. He said, ignored it, sent a letter to the defense, said this information to the defense. So again, the BAU didn't send the defense anything. The FBI didn't send the defense anything. Okay. We have not seen anything in writing or anything publicly stated that the BAU believes this. Could we see it down the line? Sure. Could we see it at trial? Sure. Absolutely. But for people that are running and saying that the FBI is already saying this, they're just incorrect unless they know more than I do. And if they do, tell us how you know. On to the following page here that closes the rest of this up that I wanted to show you. So let's get big. Let's go down. The homicides were Nordic police. This was news to the defense, as no member of the United Command in charge of the investigation revealed this information to the defense during recent depositions. This includes Holman, who told the defense he didn't remember the FBI's BAU unit determined one way or the other, or whether those Nordic beliefs have been involved in murder. So two things here. Let me say, this was in like kind of middle of September. We know now that they did not receive all the discovery by then. There was a November 1st deadline, then all hell broke loose. So they did not receive the discovery. There's actually documents now that said they've received things afterwards. So we don't know if anything was put in there ever. Now, there's a deposition where they say this Tobe lied, Holman, all these people lied, okay? We have not seen a deposition. I haven't. Or the transcripts of the deposition. So they're looking at a deposition and they're judging it. They're subjectively judging what he said. Well, if he said in a deposition there's no DNA evidence, then he's lying. But they didn't get all the evidence first. I don't know if there is. But what if the DNA evidence came after the Franks memo was released? So people were running wild with this thing. This is a 7th grade English paper spelling-wise. I mean, what do these folks have against punctuation? Jesus Christ, what did a period ever do to you? There's a lot of people on YouTube like that. But I just wanted to show you that. So at least up to the time of this filing, they're not no dummy. They're not no dummy. At least up to the time of the filing, prosecution provided no evidence whatsoever. So they're covering themselves, at least up to the time of this filing. That the BA's unit concerning involvement of Odinist murders, none. That letter Click sent to McClelland was the first the defense had heard about the murders or about the Odinists or whatever have you. Okay. Over 9 months after defense counsel entered the appearance, the defense is still reviewing the September 8th evidence dump. So they're not even through everything they have now. So they do this Franks memorandum or this Franks memo. They don't even have all they admit it here. So they're not lying because they said we don't have everything we've seen. We haven't seen that yet. Okay. And again, just to be clear, the BAU has never said this. Major Click, who said it was not an Odinist ritual and no one in law enforcement believes it was. Okay. This is the guy that they're quoting. So which end are you going to believe? Now, again, Major Click does believe that the 3 that are mentioned are involved, but it's not an Odinist ritual. So maybe someone could help me understand this. I'm going to go back to my screen. Why wouldn't the defense just roll with that? Why wouldn't they just roll with what Major Click said? Why would they make it Odinist? Why would they just say that Major Click believes that the 3 guys that are Odinist or aren't Odinist are involved? I never understood that. Maybe someone can help me. So let me go back here and get into the chat and see what everybody's saying and seeing what you have to think. I just think it's important to show that. Now, some people that are pro Richard Allen being guilty aren't going to tell you about Major Click's other statement that he believes these 3 are involved. And the people that don't believe, that RA is guilty, they might just show you the first part of that quote. But I want to show you both parts. And I find it extremely intriguing that a novelist, I hope to say it right, novelist True Crime, the guy that walks the dogs, wherever he lives, it's fucking beautiful there. I don't know accents that well, so I'm going to try to guess where he's from. I have a hard time with the United States accents, I know if you talk like Ruckus and can't say art, or you can't say art, you say art, you're from Boston. If you hear me talking, I always say downtown or Pittsburgh. I have a Pittsburgh accent. Jinx talks Kentucky, what you call Kentucky hillbilly. So anyways, he brought a really good point. They listed all these things. Oh, it's not here. It's not here. They don't mention SIM card. They don't mention car. So just something to think about. Well, let's see what you folks had to say about what I showed you there. Come on up. Oh, I got a bunch of things. Highlighted did I not mean to highlight? What's up, Junior Johnson? The font. Cindy likes the font. I do that for myself too. I was watching Frank the other night, and Kristen was on. They were reading stuff, and I love listening to Frank because he has some experience with documents. And he's up there, and he's like, "Is this big enough?" And I'm over there on my phone. Like, it can't be big enough for me, Frank. See on my TV. And I have a nice TV, but yeah, the font thing. So yeah, no problem. My girlfriend just bought a bunch of readers from Amazon. I said, "Babe, we're gonna be 45 this year." And Father Time is undefeated, so. All right. Mother, what's up, Mother of Dragons? How are you? Charlotte. Hey, Gail. Gail doesn't believe it's ritualistic. Here's the thing. So if you're really deep into serial killers and stuff like that, every serial killer has a ritualistic angle to him. And by ritualistic, it doesn't have anything to do with oh gosh, I used the Robert Ives quote, non-secular, which means not non-religious. Does that even make sense? But a ritual, like you get up every day, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, put on deodorant, your shirt, have a cup of coffee, go outside and rip a heater, smoke a bowl, whatever it is that you do in the morning, that's a ritual too. So when you say ritualistic, I know exactly what you mean. But if you're in like the depths of like the serial killing, the profiling, stuff like that, just to be clear, you're going to read ritualistic in a lot of books, and it's just their ritual. It's their way that they do things. But I know what you mean. They're saying it was an ode to sacrifice or a heavy religious angle to the killing. What's up, Stella? How are you, Haunted Stella? Let's see, Cindy got here. I always thought he answered the question. Yes, I agree that some people think that. He didn't say it was true. He did not lie. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, it's not a ritual of sacrifice. No one in law enforcement believes that, but I believe that, and speaking for his friends, one of them who's now deceased, believe, yeah, that these other three guys might have something to do with it. One of the things with Elvis Fields is, in my opinion, the reason the people go so hard on the antlers or the horns is because Elvis Fields said that. That was his big revelation about how the scene was set, right? That was the big thing. Oh, there was horns on it. Well, I've never seen the crime scene pictures, and I don't think I need to, because only seeing 2 pictures out of thousands, it's not going to help me really. I don't think it's going to help me that much unless someone wrote their name on blood on the wall or something like that. But the people that have seen them, with the exception of one AI rendition where they were added, 7 or 8 people told me that's not what that looked like. Other people say it looked like antennas. It's hard to tell if they're in the foreground or not. But Elvis Fields has to be linked through that. Okay, he spit on him. They took DNA from a ton of people. Why would he say that to his sister? I don't know. How did information get to him about this that was relatively, inside knowledge of the case? I think a lot of people were talking early, and I think that's why they put that initial gag order out. Some got back to him. Somebody, inserted thoughts into his mind, and it's possible in his case that they could have did that. And we go back from it, but we do know that they ran this down, and hopefully that all comes out. But I always wonder why the defense didn't just run with the major click theory and saying, hey, these guys were odious, but it wasn't an ode to sacrifice. Again, the battle to this is none of those were seen. I know there's an early sketch, so I called it Keebler Elf sketch. And some people say it's Elvis Fields. Some people say it's Logan Holder, this one or that one. I can't tell. I know it looks like a regular sketch. I know original Bridge Guy sketch does not look like an original sketch. And I still struggle to understand that. And I still struggle to understand how they can't say he was 5'6.28" or whatever, based on measuring relative factors in the picture, railroad ties. Like, you can go out there and measure that railroad tie. This railroad tie is 6 inches high or whatever. And then based from that they couldn't figure it out. Or maybe they did and we don't know about it. Maybe that's one of the things. One of the things that, I don't know if it's Novelist True Crime brought it up or someone else mentioned that they never said that it couldn't be Richard Allen because of his size. And I thought that was kind of odd too. So do we have a definitive size anywhere? And if we don't, how can we not? We could measure a rock on a moon and say, oh, this rock's so-and-so and so-and-so. Just Deb, yes. I'd be very interested to see the Odin report. I assume if we go to trial, it's going to come out. I would assume, right? So I'm very interested in seeing that too. I've never covered or investigated religious type crimes. I shouldn't say even worked. I did a little bit of research into the Stevenson case in Kentucky that they thought was associated with Delphi. And there's people that blast Alex Voorhees for this or that. Alex Voorhees is the one that linked that, right? Alex Voorhees has done some amazing work, and I think you're going to find more about it as time goes on. He's a friend of mine. I don't know him that well. I haven't talked to him for a while, but that dude's out there doing the Lord's work behind the scenes on the computer. The guy's a whiz. You know, he just kind of wants to make games and stuff and kind of like live in peace, but he's so good at something. It's calling him, and we need him. The community needs him. The police need him. So for people to attack him, people attack True Crime Web. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? But hey, I digress. I continue. Let people show you who they are. Let them show you who they are, and you judge from there, and you guys make up your own mind. Some people might unsubscribe to me and say, well, I don't believe you. I believe these people, the family did it. And they didn't have a sweatshirt on, Kelsey said. So what does that mean? I mean, come on. You know, we're X's and O's here, right? We're breaking this down. We have legal documents you can show. There's nothing that. There's none of that. There's nothing. And again, nobody's saying it about the family. So that just upsets me. And I'll continue on that tirade for as long as I need to. And in the next case, I might say, hey, the family did it, right? If whatever it goes, it goes. I'm not trying to steer it anywhere. I just like to try to figure it out if possible. Junior Johnson, I try not to hate one, but sometimes these people who are, oh yeah, I shared a thing with the guy that, you know, just killed a girl in Texas. And I quoted from John Ruth the Hangman from The Hateful Eight. Someone reported it. I said we should hang the guy. Someone reported it. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That was Harmony Montgomery's dad. It was Harmony Montgomery's dad. Someone reported it. Okay, well, hey. It was up there, but it was John Ruth the Hangman's quote. Hey, hi. I've mentioned before I was going to say hello to someone else. Like I say hi, Jinx. When I see Hiawatha, I say hi. Charlotte, I've never seen you toxic. Oh, I don't think Charlotte's toxic either. Charlotte, how I thought it was. Then it got, oh, maybe the whole thing. Yeah, maybe the whole thing. The CW show, if anybody wants to talk about that. The purpose of the CW show, and I thought everyone kind of understood this going in. It wasn't necessarily about the Delphi case. It's about the coverage of it. If you read the little thumbnail, the description of it. So I thought that they did what they wanted to do. I thought that they wanted to make certain people look nuts, and it didn't matter who those people were. We just want to show you that there's some nuts in this case. And they showed the people that they showed. And then they showed other people sitting down and talking. And, you know, I thought Rick Snae's hair looked fantastic. Here I am on hair again. I thought his hair looked fantastic. And he's parsing it out very well. I thought that the girl, and I don't want to say the wrong name, from The Unraveling, I thought that she presented herself very well. I disagree with her on this case. I thought she presented herself very well, and very rational. And those were, in my opinion, the two winners. Gray Hughes was kind of cut off on it. I thought it was going to be like a lot of him, and maybe he thought that too. He looks cool without his visor. That was the first thing I thought. But, you know, kind of everyone else that was showed on there, it was kind of like, whoa. You know what I mean? And whether they're allowed to show that or not, I believe that they are. But I think that they got their accomplishment, what they wanted to get over. They got over what they wanted to get over, and showing that, you know, people were covering this Delphi case. So if you're from the outside looking in, but, oh, there's some fucking nuts in there. And I really think that that's what it was about. I don't think it was it's not a documentary about Libby and Abby. And I enjoyed it. And I downloaded the CW app, and I take it for what it's worth. And I'll watch the next episode too. And hopefully they do another one about Delphi, because I thought it was very interesting. People were saying they're pushing the Ron Logan angle, the CW. Yeah, it seemed like that to me, but that's okay. That's okay. There wasn't a whole lot new that I found out there, and assertions are being made by everybody. And there was really never any, it was all like opinion. There was never no, like, we're going to show you data and we're going to show you this and that. And I think that was purposely done by the CW. So again, I thought that those two people, they played that clip of Snae screaming, and I think that's done purposely. But I think that sitting down, you know, those two really, you know, even though I disagree on the case with them, I thought that they presented themselves well. I thought Hughes did too, but he was very cut. It was weird. I thought there'd be a lot more him. You know, he's the biggest person on that show, subscriber-wise. But it's a TV show at the end of the day, and they did what they wanted to do. And the woman that Ron Logan, domestic abuse is domestic abuse, right? It's never good, even if it was 40 years ago. It doesn't make it okay. And from what we can tell, and I believe her, that Ron Logan was a domestic abuser. Was he up until the end, until he died? I don't know. We know that there's another wife that actually stayed with him when he died with COVID. And she stuck up for him. She was the one that says he doesn't cross the bridge, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. Those screenshots are now flying around Discord and YouTube also. I'll share them on my community page if it's not already up on some other people's community pages. So I found that interesting too. Shane, he snuck in here. I didn't see you. What's up, Shane? Charlotte, did you get into a tizzy with somebody? There are such better ways to understand. Yeah, you're 100% right, Charlotte. I agree with you 100%. The only problem I have with trying to do that, some people don't learn or they don't do that. Sometimes you have to get in the mud. This channel is not about getting in the mud, but if I have to, I will. I mean, hate to say, Mommy Wolverine, always coming through with some knowledge. Mommy Wolverine, I agree with you about the YouTube community. And I think most of the people are good people, 80%. They want to do the right thing, and regardless of who they believe and what case did what, I'm totally fine with all that. But then you have maybe 20% that are just like they're like leeches on society is what they are, and they all kind of like, so it's kind of like you're sifting through rubble or something like that. You sift through the rubble and you get the big rocks that are up top, and then all the shit that falls to the bottom, they all kind of gather together and they cling at the bottom of an aquarium together. And that's what I see, because I saw the people in other chats, and they their ideas are getting rejected, whether they're getting rejected respectfully or disrespectfully. And then they find these places, they find the island of misfit toys, and it's just like everything goes 24/7, shotguns and fucking hand grenades all around for everyone, and that's what people are into. And it's free country, right? Free platform. United States, you have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of repercussions. Yeah, Silas, the cat hair thing, that was another thing. I've never seen anything about that. I've theorized about it. Of course, we saw the picture with the cat, with his daughter, with the shirt, whether it was Libby's shirt or not, or the memorial shirt, I don't know. Oh, let me talk about memorial shirts too. Again, I live in Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania. And we unfortunately have a lot of gun violence in my town. My town's we about 25,000 people, 20 if you believe the last census, but nobody fills that shit out around the hood no more. Let me tell you that right now. It's commonplace when someone gets killed to make the RIP shirts. You see them, people wear them to funerals. I've seen them at funerals. I've seen them at events. So they used to get airbrushed when I was a kid, in high school. They'd go to the mall and get a bunch of airbrush shirts. Rest in peace, so-and-so. He was gunned down, or he had cancer. He was killed in a car. So here in America, and at least in my neck of the woods in Western Pennsylvania, that is hugely commonplace, T-shirts. You raise money, you give money to the family. You don't know what else to do. You want to defray some funeral costs. Do this, do that. I've seen people saying they were charging $5 to get into the funeral. Like, these things are so outrageous and so easily proven false. But people don't want to look because they don't want to know. They just want to root for their team, I think. That's my 2 cents on it anyway. But yeah, we see our city actually had to pass an ordinance, because where people got killed, they would put stuffed animals and things like that and have a memorial set up. And they'd hang one of them shirts there, and they'd put a picture of their loved one there. And the city had enacted an ordinance. Unfortunately, we had a lot around town, and they can only stay up for so long or on anniversary dates, which personally I don't agree with, but the city council decided it. And, at the end of the day, that's what it is. But as far as having shirts and stuff like that, you go to different walks and different things, and you always see people have that. So for people to not understand that or to kind of rail on that, at least where I'm from, that is total normalcy, total normal place. So Charlotte was getting after it, huh? I wasn't in any chats last night. We were having some tacos, and I had some gluten-free beers. The last time I drank, I was on YouTube on my rant with my the Avenger, as it's being called, the Avenger live. Huh. Yeah. So Silas and Hi, are we talking about Nancy Grace? Thicker Billy. There it is. I'm sorry. That's Jink's accent. Thicker Billy. Thicker Billy. What's up, Delphi dummies? How are you? Very funny and very talented Delphi dummies. And if you ask me who they are, if they're man or woman, I don't know. I know who like 4 people are. Other people, I don't even know if they're men or women. And that's cool. I don't, that's okay. What's up, Dawn Spain? How are you? Kyra. Ari could still be either guilty or innocent on the things be wrong. They are just both theories. Yeah. Well, right now they are. Yeah. We have some evidence, but we don't have it all. So I don't think anyone could tell you they're 100% guilty or innocent. They might think that or believe that, but that'd be, you couldn't prove it right now, I don't think. Like I said, I'm about 80% on Alan. And one of the things that bothers me is the no history of violence against women that we know of. But as John Kelly, believe it or not, someone actually attacked John Kelly too. John Kelly did a thing where he explained it, and most people think that there's a history. There's not always a history with serial killing, but that type, I thought that there might be. And he kind of disagreed. He said, no, this could have just popped up. It's humanly possible that he's done this before. They haven't linked it up or haven't put it together or anything like that. So just because they don't have that history, and I was one of the people that said that too. So I was a little incorrect on that. And I'm not a profiler. John Kelly is. So I will fall back on his knowledge anytime me and him disagree. When it's related to profiling, you go with the person that knows more, right? And that, if you're able to do that, if your ego lets you do that, mine does. So I'm pretty sure that's what you guys are talking about there. But thank you, Kyra. I agree. And again, these are the good talks that we have. Always good to see you, Mother. Okay, so we're Nancy Grace. I didn't watch that show last night. I will check it out, though. I saw a couple of people shared it, and I have not seen it yet. My mom always used to watch Nancy Grace. I don't know if she still does or not. Hey, and by the way, I don't even know how to do this or how any of this matters or not, but I had my 1,000 subscribers, so I did the monetization thing, and I got accepted on it. And actually got accepted on it about 2 weeks ago, and I just saw the email. The only reason I saw it was because someone reported my John Ruth the Hangman thing about Harmony Montgomery's dad. Well, if you don't think he should be hung, then we can disagree on that. That's fine. But I think he should be. He's adjudicated guilty already. But yeah, I don't even know how that works, but it says I could do ad revenue, super stickers, whatever the hell else. However that works, I don't know. But if you go back and watch old videos, you might see some ads in them. So I don't expect to get rich off doing this at all, but you know, it's, maybe eventually I could retire from the fire department and make like $200 a week. That's what I'd be looking for. Not begging for any of it. And there's probably a lot better people you could give money to than me, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, I'm not rich by any stretch of imagination, but I make a very fair salary. Junior, thank you, Junior. So I'll check that Nancy Grace thing out, guys. I appreciate that. I think for the most part, if the Odin angle were true, it would provide the one thing that everyone wants to know, which is motive. Yes. That's really good put, Lone Pony. That is really, really good way to put that. Is there always motive? Could someone just freak out and lose their shit? Usually they get caught, right? When someone freaks out and they catch them walking down the street naked, covered in blood with the murder weapon, singing Farmer in the Dell or something. So real quick, I'll talk to my brother. My brother's an attorney general agent here in the state of Pennsylvania. And I was talking about the bullet and rear back ballistics, which is they call anything before the gun shot, I guess. I hope I don't use any wrong terms here. And I said, have you heard any cases? And I explained the situation. And he was a city of McKeesport cop for 12 years, patrolman, sergeant, and then a narco. And he said, not in his cases that he's worked, they usually have discharged shells or that type of thing. But so I went through with him, and I tell you what he said, and I think it was interesting. Now, I told him about a theory that I had many moons ago, probably did a video maybe 8 months ago, where I mentioned theorizing that Richard Allen does this. Let's say they say Richard Allen. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to say Richard Allen. What am I saying for this to work? Sorry. So Richard Allen does this. He commits this crime. He does freak out. There's some kind of break with reality. He realizes what he does. He forgets he puts one in the chamber. He racks it on the bridge, right? We know he racked one on the bridge. I believe that's a given now, in my opinion, from the Patties, from the Williamses, from everyone else. He racks it, And then at some point, he commits these acts and he's kind of snaps out of it. Oh, fuck, what have I done? He puts one to the head and goes to take himself out. And there you go. Boom, it comes out. The bullet comes out. Oh, shit. Is this like a sign that I shouldn't do this? Is this similar to the time? Does he hear people coming in? This is all speculation and theory by me. No proof of this all whatsoever. But I just wondered about that. I wondered if this was the first time that he killed somebody, how he would react immediately after, especially if it was a freak out. And I've said this before too. I believe he was under the influence of alcohol. I don't have any proof of that. That's just a theory. Let's see if I end up being right about that. Some way, shape, or form. Not necessarily fall down drunk, but that's the theory. And let me know what you think about it. The FBI changed the info on their website. Yeah, that's interesting too, CJK. I just went on there the other day, and it's still the same stuff kind of up there. So it's very, very interesting that. Hi, Watha. Where could I see the Nancy Grace? What is she on? Someone post what she's on. Is it, I don't know, one of the channels, CNN, Fox, one of those MSNBC, one of those news type channels that have shows. I don't think it's Court TV. I could be wrong. On YouTube. Yeah, if you look it up on YouTube, I should have just said that. Thank you, Deb. Nancy Grace Delphi. You're going to find a lot of shit, but you can look by the most recent thing. Hey, Jamie Hicks, what's up? Jamie Hicks is someone like myself. I think in the morning she's fired out of a cannon every day. And she keeps doing what she does very passionately. Charlotte, I love to see Alex on very admire his ability than his life experience. Yes, Alex is more of a champion than people know. He's really overcome some things. And when it comes to computers, there's nobody better. Yeah, Steve's fantastic. Yeah, for people to attack him. I mean, but you know what? It should surprise us. It really shouldn't. It shouldn't, in my opinion. Steve, they attacked John Kelly. God, they'd attack Mr. Rogers if he had a page. They are the most vile, CJK. 1,000,000% they are. Episode last night. So the Nancy Grace, thanks to Hiawatha, Nancy Grace on the Nancy Grace YouTube channel. There was an episode last night. I'm going to check that out when we're done here. I got to run for some propane after this to fill my tank up. Because since it's nice out and it's 37 degrees, I'm making hamburgers today, right? And some of you people that live in a lot warmer climates are like, this fucking guy's nuts. But Rabbit, what's up? I was talking to Rabbit the other night. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. R-A-B-B. Yeah, I don't know. Rabbit. Hopefully that's right. How are you? Thank you for popping in. Let me get through the chat here. The stylist from the CW. Oh, that's good. I know you don't get along with Snay, Jamie, and that's fine. I respect both you guys, but I thought his hair would look good. Gray Hughes looked good. He did without the visor. I wonder if he's a golfer. The only guys I wear those hats that I know are golfers. I'm a golfer. I'm not a golfer. I'm a guy that goes to a golf course and plays the game. Let me rephrase that. But I enjoy it mightily. Thank you, Hi. Yeah, hit the thumbs up chat. I always forget about telling people to do that. That always helps. Helps the algorithm, which I don't understand either. I tried. That ain't my thing. Yeah, CJK, I think that's exact. I think I'm behind here on the chat a little bit. I'm not Tom Webster behind. Tom Webster's fucking awesome. He's the low-key funniest dude on YouTube. Let me explain what I mean about Tom Webster. First of all, he's always dressed to a T, pressed, always looks good, right? Hair's perfect. Another nice head of hair. But he'll just be talking and he'll just throw like a little dig in. It could be about himself, about the audience. And unless you're really paying attention, you don't get it. I sit there and I laugh my ass off. I think that guy's so funny and so smart. They had great looking suave. I did a short because people accused some of us creators of being paid by the Patty family and that the FBI was going to come in with RICO charges. So I did a RICO Suave video. That's just laughable. It's absolutely laughable. But go ahead, call the police and tell them they're paying us to do this because they're not. I've never met the Patties before. I'd like to one day. I'd like to shake Mike's hand, give Becky a hug, leave it at that. But if I don't have to meet them, and I certainly don't have to get paid. I don't need money to be a good person. Let you hear some sides without telling you which to believe. Yeah. That's good. Kyra, I agree with you there. Present your case, and then here we go. Jeremy Hall, how are you? Finally catching alive. Oh, great to see you. Do you ignore or call out the 20% that are wrong? Well, CJK, I've done both. I've ignored for a long time. I've called out for a long time. Again, people come after me. That's fine. I could take it. I was a high school basketball coach in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. If you're from around here, you'll get that joke. It's not a joke, but it is. So that's fine. Other people's opinions of me are none of my business. I just told one of the guys in the department that. And I really mean it. People attack family, post pictures, talk about my mom and my kids. We're a tough family. And I don't want to give credibility to people because I don't care about them. But when you're out bashing other people's family, murder children with no proof, I'm going to take issue with it every time. And that's not why I came to YouTube, but it kind of like, yeah, here I am. So yeah, but there's both. I think that there's both. But again, if people disagree with me case wise, I'm fine with it. We could be totally cool. Because the next case we might be all together like, yeah, it was him. It was interesting, but I find it Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone's cool. I like the old horror. I was talking to my girlfriend's daughter about that. I was like, I like the old horror movies. They were psychological horror a little bit. Thanks, Jamie. Were you in any chats that aren't nice recently, Jamie? I try to be. People will pop in here and say what they want to say. It's a free country. You know what I mean? If you have proof of the family and you want to bring it in here, I'll show it to you. Marbles. I don't think I said hi to you yet. Here, too, they do that. Hopefully that's a good thing, Marbles. I'm not sure what you were talking about. Oh, Rabbit, I hope that you feel better if you're not feeling well. There's a lot. There was a bug going around here. Stomach bug. It was lasting like 3 or 4 days. Marbles, I am a she, her, hers. So I didn't know that, Marbles. I kind of assumed you were a guy, with no proof whatsoever. Born as. Okay. But hey, whatever, Marbles. I'll call you Marbles if that's okay. And whatever past that is absolutely cool with me. We're good. I like the Martin Luther King, right? I like his theory, content of character. That's what I'll judge everybody on. I try to. I really do. I like meeting different people from different countries. It's a pleasure, Jamie. You seem to be going through a lot. It's important, matter. You're missed when absent. You always manage a giggle. Yeah, Jamie's very funny. And I know she goes at it with creators that maybe I'm friendly with too, and that's all fine and good. They take it good, some of them. You know what I mean? They give it back good. It's an even exchange. Other people don't run and cry and things like that. But I do. I enjoy Jamie quite a bit. It's possible, Stella, and that's part of this that's really, really intrigues me. So is this a thing where there's going to be? But I don't know. They haven't shown anything yet. Is it a case where you want to, and this is a total theory and a total speculation, okay? Total theory, total speculation. I need a bumper. Maybe Grizz can make me that when I'm giving a theory and something will come across the screen like theory. Maybe this case needs to drop for another case. Someone mentioned that to me in an email, and I was like, that's really interesting. Meaning it totally stepping outside the box and theorizing here, okay? He did something before, but there's more evidence here. And if they adjudicate this here, they could use it as leverage in another case. But I don't know. Frosty shared a very interesting thing about Gatlinburg, Tennessee. The time Allen was there. And again, he even said it's probably just a coincidence, but it's interesting. So there's all these coincidences. You have to run them down, right? Run them down, vet them out and see, that's a fucking crazy red herring coincidence. Let me tell you one from John Douglas. The Atlanta child murders, right? They found a dumping site for, I don't think it was for Wayne Williams, this particular one. Wayne Williams is in jail for it, but he was not charged with all of them. The police don't believe he did all of it, right? No way, shape, or form. He was a bad guy. He did some shit, but he's in jail for life. So they discover a body on a rural road. Young black male, right? They're able to determine that. He's been there for a couple months. During your investigation, they find another body. These are all in varying states of decomposition. So there's almost like the bodies are almost laid out in a pentagram with points, half of a pentagram. So they're here, you know what I mean? And this guy's wife was pregnant. This is in like the early 1980s, late 1970s. And he would go down this road with one of his, I don't even know what you call them anymore because porn's online now. Like a jack-off magazine. Is that what you guys, like a Playboy or something? Jack-off magazine. Maybe that ain't the right term. And he was relieving himself, and he didn't do it at home. It's bizarre, but he's in his work truck. And then he said that he did it in the truck and threw the magazine out. And John Douglas's quote is saying, well, you got to be fucking Dan Marino or Joe Montana to throw it that far. He says, all right, I got out of the woods and I did this. He was an exterminator truck. And so he leaves this magazine at basically what would be the tip of the part of the pentagram where there's two kids here. There's another kid in the middle, and the way that they're laid out. And they get the DNA, they find out who it is. And they're like, oh my God, this is the guy. This is the guy. How else can you explain this? President Reagan was getting ready to do a news conference the next day about it. John Douglas was notified. And he's like, as soon as you find out what happened, you let us know. The president's going live to say we caught the Atlanta child killer. Well, after they run all this stuff down, the guy had rope in his truck and different things like that. They find that it wasn't him. But that's a red herring. It looked so good. Like, and Douglas even laughs like, what are the odds? And, policemen don't believe in coincidences. He mentions that. He's like, what are the goddamn odds that this is even possible to happen? But it wasn't him. And they ruled him out. So that's just something, that's a little story or a little anecdote to tell you. I highly recommend all John Douglas's books. Robert Ressler are all fantastic. That's where I started. Yes, John Kelly is fantastic. Fantastic. I'm definitely team John Kelly. He overcame his own hurdles and obstacles. He's a very educated man. He's a criminal profiler, written many books. And if I say one thing and John Kelly says another thing, believe John Kelly. But yes, there are creators that are attacking John Kelly, believe it or not. But when you fall in a den of snakes, it's kind of hard to get out. What's Stella telling? Tell Stella, whatever it is, tell. Jeremy Hall, profiler Pat Brown, the serial, what happened to have just been caught after. Yeah, Pat Brown said that. Pat Brown, the profiler, not Pat Brown, the Delphi resident. I'm not explaining that to you, Jeremy, because you already know that. But for other people here, Pat Brown, they think, orange truck lost keys. Becky Patty said he didn't lose his keys. So take out for what it's worth. Profiler Pat Brown said she believes R.A. is a serial killer who happened to have just been caught after his first murder. Yes, Pat Brown's really good. Now, Pat Brown's a little gruff. She's going to tell you like it is. She went after someone I watched, Ken Maines, one time. She didn't think Ken Maines did something right, kind of went after him. But she's very schooled, and I found that very interesting. Now, Jeremy, if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, was it in the Ron Logan, the FBI Ron Logan warrant, not the probation warrant? Did they mention budding serial killer in that? It was somewhere in the document. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. So, but that's a very good point, Jeremy. Pat Brown, the profiler, not the Delphi resident, is another fantastic watch. Marbles. Nancy has some very unprofessional facial expressions. I'm going to have to watch her. And Marbles, when she makes a funny face, I'm going to laugh. Thank you, Deb. We're talking about monetizing. Yeah. Holy shit. I'm sorry I didn't see these. Guys, I certainly did not expect to have anything like this. Mother of Dragons, my first sticker that I have ever gotten. I'll never forget it. Hold on a second. Can you screenshot a laptop? Does anybody know? I'm taking a picture of this. This is my first one. Mother of Dragons. I'm going to put that in my Coach Kev's true crime thing. I appreciate it mightily. Jinx. Hi, Jinx. I appreciate it mightily. I don't even know how I get paid. Does it come to your bank account? What does it go into? Does anybody know? I don't even know. But I appreciate it mightily, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe one day I can retire from the fire department and do this. Maybe it's true crime. Maybe it's comedy. something. Coach Kev Awards will be coming up. I'm working on that. I don't know if I should spoof it or if I should make it real. What do you guys think? Should it be a spoof Coach Kev Awards or it should be real? Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm flattered. $25 is more than I ever thought I would ever make on YouTube. Haunted Stella. Stella, if you know my email, Kevlar1481, easy for me to say, Kevlar148@hotmail.com or Kevlar148@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you want, we could keep it. I won't bring it up. A lot of people have told me a lot of things that I've kept under my hat if they ask me to. I will get brave and join on a call one day. Well, I hope you do, Charlotte. And I see a lot of people with a lot of good commentaries. Guys, get pages going. Gets too dramatic. It does. I was dramatic until 2 weeks ago. Light them up. You got to do what you got to do. But again, when people were pressed, in all honesty, right? Not making fun of anyone or anything like that. When we press people that blame the family instead of families involved, show us proof. The responses we get, we're not giving it to you. Okay, well, don't give it to the police. We're not giving it to the police because they're corrupt. What do you want to do then? You know what I mean? Oh my goodness, Lake Michigan. You guys are killing it. I'm blown away. I am. I just want to tell them don't send any more. I don't feel worthy of it. But thank you, Lake Michigan, and go blue. I don't know if Lake Michigan lives in Michigan or is man or woman, but I see Michigan and I always got to say go blue. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. I'm blown away. I have my 1,000 things and I applied to do it just to see what it's all about. And it says it took like a week or 10 days. So I had an email from, I think, February 14th or 15th where I was accepted. Said it was like 10 days ago. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. It was in my Gmail, which usually I just like read the top because people will send me stuff there and shit like that. Honeybee is some great stuff. Honeybee, we're due a Wild West video. She's done some really, really cool stuff on Billy the Kid. If you're into the West, I'm very into the West stuff. It's very cool. Check out Honeybee. Wow, what are you guys talking about? You guys know something I don't. I'm very interested to hear what you're talking about. There's Frank Meister. Frank was watching some wrestling. I talked to him this morning. Frank, Penn State beat your IU Hoosiers today. Sorry for any IU Hoosier fans here. I can't say shit about college hoops because Michigan this year is – what are you going to do? We won a football championship, right? Baseball team will be pretty good too. But it's good to see you, Frank. Lone Pony, you guys you're killing me here. You're killing me. You're making me almost want to cry. Thank you so much. I sent my first chat to Frank the other day, and I said, I've never done this before, but here we go. And off the record, I told him to buy some weed with it. I hope that Frank, being a disabled veteran, is a guy that I think marijuana could really, really help. And whether he does or not, that's up to him. But thank you, Lone Pony. You guys are fantastic. Yeah, I don't even know how I get paid. Does someone come to my house with like a YouTube truck? And I don't know. Does it go right into your account? I'm hooked up with my Google, I think, because I do the YouTube Premium and stuff like that. But you guys are really, really something. Oh, honey, but you guys are too much. Goodness gracious. Stop. Oh, my God. I don't feel like I deserve this, guys. Please. This is you're out of this world. You guys are out of this world. Thank you so much, Honeybee. And I said it before. Go check out. She does really good work. She does really cool not sketches. I don't know what you want to call them. But a couple of videos I did, she sent really cool things. I actually sent them to my girlfriend. She's like, oh, that'd be a cool painting. I'm like, yeah, we could hang it in the basement and scare the mice away. My Uncle Howdy used to say that when I gave him, this is what kind of family I had. They were loving, but they were jack-offs, all of them. My Uncle Howdy said that I'd give him a school picture when I was young. He's like, oh, I hang it in the basement to scare the mice away. Yeah, Nancy Grace on YouTube. Something's going on. Yeah, it was going on all right. Marbles. Maybe we're talking about something else. What do people in chat think the motive was? That's a very good question, Mother. I think it's a sexually sadistic homicide. Whether any SA happened or not, that doesn't always matter. And I don't want to get too in depth, but at times the act of plunging a knife into somebody for certain killers replicates the act of sex. Does that even make sense? So it's a deep, dark motherfucker. If you want to go into it, I've dived into it just to try to understand it. Something else I want to mention too. The other day I was catching, it was a replay. Greeno had mentioned that he went back to the scene, and when they went to the scene, I shouldn't say went back to the scene, but he went to the scene after it was open, and there was cameras everywhere. Like there was cameras there before, but now there's cameras everywhere, folks. Whether it's Richard Allen or not, the person's from Delphi. I'll go out on a limb, and I don't have proof of this, but I can almost guarantee you that person went back there, and they went back there to relive what they did. And however they did that, they did that. I don't want to get too graphic or in depth, and this is a total theory, but I'm very strongly believe that whoever did that, if they were from Delphi or they went to Delphi a lot or back and forth, they went back to that scene. And hopefully there's pictures, and it is, if it is Richard Allen, he's back at that scene. But Coach, can you add a gifting option to donations? Well, you know what? I don't have a Honeybee. I don't have a membership thing yet. I'm still working on that, but that I will. I appreciate you bringing that up too, Honeybee. I see people doing that all the time, and I always think that's really cool. I was talking to Frog, Mommy Wolverine. You guys are just too much. Goodness gracious. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Mommy. Go Blue. Malika? I hope I'm saying that. Malka? I hope I'm saying that right. Apologize if I'm not. Freezing here. Honeybee, it's balmy 37. We're cooking on a grill, baby. Getting it done. Yeah, Aspen Connor. Oh, wow, I wish I had chapstick. I'd put some on. Aspen Connor and Kristen. Yeah, Kristen's amazing. She really is, and she's been through it. She's been through it. Her and Frank are quite a team. I like them together. I call them Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if Frank thought that was funny or not, but Kristen looks fantastic. These are the people that I hope to meet in April when I go out to the walks. I really want, I think I'd be really cool to meet them. We're like good friends now. We never met, but I'm from that generation, Generation X. I still need to make contact with you and talk to you as a person, shake your hand, give you a hug, dap you up, whatever, Rabbit. Scotland. Freezing. Frank, all I know is more heads being up asses. These idiots I'm speaking of. It's more than just heads being up their asses. Always like Frank. Frank's gruff and Frank gets to it. Tall man. Ooh. Now, tall man, see, I'm not sure who you are, but Honeybee is not that tall, man. And, yeah. Tall man. Au revoir, motherfucker. You're the second person I banned on YouTube called tall man. Congratulations. No one's calling Honeybee that in any of my chats. No man should say that word ever, whether it's about a man or a woman. But they should never say it to a woman. So tall man, like I said, time to get on with your future endeavors. I blocked you, not my mods, just so we know. Speaking of being behind, we're talking make a Tom Webster joke. Tom's awesome. Tom is awesome. He should be an actor or something. Yeah, Mother, I'm not sure where you're from, but I'm gonna. My intention is to get there for at least Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully Friday too, but Saturday and Sunday for the Delphi and the floral walks. And hopefully get to meet everybody. And if you're in Delphi or in the area and you know any restaurants that have gluten-free food, please let me know because I'm a celiac, and I need to know where I can eat at. So hopefully there's something there, and I'm not eating peanut butter out of a jar all weekend with tortilla chips. Carol, 30s are absolutely. Yeah, right now they are, Carol. The sun's out too. Hopefully it is where you are also. So that's nice having the sun out. Yeah, it's very interesting. That's another good question, Marbles. That brings up to me. What if RA was in these chats? I've heard people saying he was in groups, he was in chats, Facebook groups, his wife was in a group, whatever the case may be. I find all that very interesting too. And I want to see how that plays out. Hey, Deb's True Crime Notebook. Deb puts out fantastic stuff. She did a video the other day, bringing truth back. Check it out. Deb is awesome. Deb, I don't know if you're going to be out there for the walks, but it'd be great to meet you. I don't know where Deb's from. I hope Jinx, I think, will be there. Hopefully she's there. CJK, nothing works if you ignore or point to vile behaviors. So at times you need to point it out. Yeah. The only thing, CJK, is if I can give the family a 1-day respite from these maniacs and they attack me, and even if they attack my family, I'm never going to attack theirs no matter what they say. But that gives the family 1 day off. Does it matter? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But like I said, let me be your bulletproof vest in this case, because this family had nothing to do with it. And I'm okay with that. I'll take a couple arrows for people. I'm all right with that. People that drag in people they disagree with families or trash. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, hey, it's the gods gave us free will, right? It was about the t-shirts. Yeah. Well, again, we're talking about what I think we're talking about. That to me in this area, that's commonplace. We make t-shirts. We had a fundraiser for a guy who passed away, my old deputy chief, Vince Wassel, from glioblastoma. That was considered a occupational cancer. And in Pennsylvania, we have something called cancer presumption. So if you're a fireman or a policeman and you get cancer at work, it's up to the city, borough, or township to prove that you didn't get it at work. And guess what? They can't. They absolutely can't, especially firemen being around diesel so much. And we had shirts. He had a big mustache, so we had a big shirt. He was not Mexican, but a guy yelled at him one time. He was an old reverend, and he told our old chief, Freddie Brake, keep that big Mexican away from me. Vince was a Croatian, but his nickname became the Big Mexican. So we had a sombrero and a real big mustache on the shirt. But we sold a ton of shirts. We sell shirts for cancer every year in pink shirts. Every year for Cancer Month. We sell shirts for St. Patrick's Day. We have a party. So maybe that's lost in translation to other cultures. But here, that's what happens. But, to be able to link that to, you lose me. There's no bridge. Talk about a bridge too far. There's no bridge from shirts, from murder of children to shirts and ball fields. It's just, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. And if they had something, they'd have produced it by now. They'd have been produced it, right? They don't have shit. So I'm not talking about people that think Richard Allen's innocent. Not talking about that. People to blame the family. People talk about Richard Allen's innocent. I might disagree with you, but there's a little meat on that bone. We can go there. And the things that are said and done, and it's just like, oh, you let the fucking guards wear Odinist patches? Are you serious? Come on, man. Come on, Religion shouldn't matter there. Whether it's Odinism, Catholicism, Judaism, you're there to do a job, and your religion doesn't matter there. My 2 cents. I can't wear anything religious. I have an American flag, and we can't wear anything past that. I remember one guy wore a blood donor pin one time. I think I told his story. Gregory Grant, underdog. He just passed away, and one of our deputy chiefs went ape shit. What do you got a goddamn blood donor patch on? Yeah, Frank confirms again that Grismatically Clever is working on his new intro. Grismatically Clever, check them out, sub them. Great material. And I know I started making videos, man. They're hard to make. They take a long time. Check out the Captain's video today. I think the Captain's one of my favorite creators. And I know it takes hours and hours to do these videos, guys. Maybe the Captain's, he's probably smarter than me and probably a little better with computers, but it takes me hours and hours to do videos. But I don't mind it. I'm learning more. Whoa. 5,000 marbles dating back from the 1800s. Wow. That's cool. I collect baseball cards and football memorabilia and stuff, but that's definitely cool. The 1800s marbles, you need a channel. I tell you what, there's a niche for everything. Start a marble channel. I bet you'll see people, maybe even in the chat, collect marbles. That's very cool. Very, very, very cool. Everybody's saying hi to people. Landchild Murr's very dodgy. I did a show on that before, Shane, way back. If you want to go watch it, I'm going to do another one. But nobody thinks in law enforcement, from what I can gather, that Wayne Williams did all those. Hey, Frank. I hope you don't mind me calling you Frank, as it delineates you from Frank. How are you doing? Wrestler Kelly and Douglas, yeah. Oh, cool. I have all John Kelly's books. If I have one or two up here still, the Mindhunter book. And the Mindhunter series on Netflix, guys, I couldn't recommend it any higher. And you will see my town of McKeesport in there a couple of times. They filmed here, which this is before I was into the true crime stuff, or else I'd have been over there fanboying. Sign my head. Melissa, how are you, Melissa? Good to see you. He made his way of thinking. That's interesting, Shane. That's interesting. Honeybee. Even the experts disagree. Yeah, that's actually really interesting to watch on many levels. Profiling experts, legal experts. I really enjoy that because I take so much from those debates, whether it's the prosecutors in the defense diaries, or we have like a John Kelly, and you have a Gary Bricado who was coming out early on saying he wasn't sure about this. But I haven't found anything recently about Dr. Bricado, Dr. B, who works with Dr. Ann Burgess. If you watch Mindhunter, Dr. Ann Burgess is awesome. She'll still kick everyone's ass at her age. Fantastic. But I always find that interesting, Honeybee, watching experts debate. Same with sports. Hey, NFL draft. The guy with speaking of a head of hair, holy shit, Mel Kiper Jr., Google his hair, man. He looks like he got a goddamn cliff going on. He almost looks like Johnny Bravo. Sorry about talking about everybody's hair, but I don't have any. I enjoy that, and they go back and forth and argue, experts that are in the know, and I always find that very interesting. True crime, sports, whatever you got. Her experience and training these type of killings at state. Yes. Oh, we're talking about Roberts, Nicole Roberts, right? Yes. So maybe Frank probably knows this better than me. Does it not mention, where did I see budding serial killer at? God, because that term was used earlier, Frank. God, I don't remember where it was at, but I remember seeing it, budding serial killer. If they attack John Kelly with his huge platform, imagining how this trolling affects us small. Yeah, well, you try not to let it, but like I said, other people's opinions are none of their business. But it just goes to show you that they're going to attack anyone that doesn't agree with them. Instead of trying to say, hey, let's talk. What do you mean by this and what do you mean by that? But so their channels aren't true crime channels. It's like the Jerry Springer channel. And that's fine. Shift Windows keys. I think you're telling me how to do something on a computer, Frank, and I don't remember what I asked. I apologize. TLS, how are you? Oh, Mitch Westerman, no, if you can share a screenshot. Good one, Cindy. That's another part of this story. That dude asked for a jury trial over relatively a small charge. So what's going to happen there, too? Good one, Mitch Westerman. That is fantastic. Got to be able to laugh. You've got to be able to laugh. The blogger, yeah, I started reading his stuff there. He's also a rapper. There's other people that are doing that, but I will see that. And you know what? I'm going to make a prediction. He ends up at the bottom of the sifting container where everyone else is. You watch. They'll have him on. I bet you they'll have him on. One of them guys or gals will have him on. If Charlotte calls, oh, there you go. That's all right, Honeybee. You got to, everyone in here, go back and watch our old ones, catch up on them, and then you be ready for the next one. Honeybee's done some fantastic work with Flora too, with pictures and things like that. Fantastic work. Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe they should worry more about reckoning with justice and their warrants. Maybe. My 2 cents. Maybe you shouldn't post your location on YouTube if you're wanted. I don't know. Yeah, well, no one has been paid by the Patties. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and there's no proof of it because it hasn't happened. So, but hey, thank you, Jamie. I could be more humble. I'm not as humble as I'm more humble than I used to be, but I could do better. What's this about Coach Kev hoodies? Oh, I don't know. Someone selling Coach Kev hoodies. Maybe. Well, thank you, B. Always good to have you here. And you know what? Me and Honeybee probably disagree on Richard Allen. I think we do. And I'm totally fine with that. I love her. She's awesome. Absolutely. We're totally cool. Melissa, contributing to the delinquency of Frank Meister is a class 6 felony in Indiana. I'm behind. We're still in a weed comment. You guys are, we have a term here in the hood, shot out. You guys are shot out today. Charlotte. Look at you guys. I'm almost embarrassed, really. Kyra. Oh my goodness. You guys are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Wow. Thank you. And again, I don't know, I have to ask Frank or somebody, how do you, does someone show up at your house in a YouTube truck and hand you like a $20 bill or what? But thank you so much. So nice. I'm Tom Webster behind. Yeah. I'm Tom Webster behind on the chat, but I'm not Sheriff Tobe Lesenby behind, if you know what I mean. Tobe got that butt. But maybe that's weird for me to say, but I don't mean anything by it, Tobe. If you're watching, I don't think Tobe's watching. He's eating candy off his desk. Hiawatha. Kev, you deserve. Honeybee is a great channel. Her videos, ability. Yeah, they're really cool. Really cool. And she leaves the words up long enough that I usually don't even have to pause the screen to read them as she goes through. Go Blue is right, Mommy Wolverine. Maybe hoops ain't our year, but football certainly was. Deb, you guys are too much. Holy shit. You guys sent me like almost like a goddamn $80-$100. Too much. Thank you so much, Deb. And I'm sure we've already shared Deb's page. Share it again. Deb has great stuff. Go check out the Bringing Truth Back video. I really like that. Deb's intro is really cool. Well, I've been up here for almost an hour and a half. I'm going to finish through the chat, and then I have one more thing before I get out of here. Shane, very interesting point too. Motive and opportunity and location. Motive was opportunity and location was the catalyst. That's a really good way to put it, Shane. That's like some Jim Clemente-esque shit right there. Motive was opportunity and location was the catalyst. That's really good. I like that. If you don't mind, I might steal that from time to time. Hey, Captain Howdy is here. What's up, big dog? I always enjoy the captain's videos. Sorry, keep bumping my thing. We watched the video that he did about the Station nightclub at the Great White concert, which we've all as firefighters watched. And my deputy chief's been a fireman for 50 years, and there was actually some images in that video, Captain, that he never saw. My boss. So that was very cool. Captain has a great video today. All his videos are great. They really are. So great that people were even trying to make videos like him. Oh my goodness. You guys are too much. Too much. Really. You really humbled me here today. Captain, everybody loves to see you, of course. I popped in his live yesterday. Well, it wasn't a live, but he did a video live, and it was really, really good. Yeah, tall man's out of here. You're not going to call Honeybee that in here. You're not going to call any woman that in here. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. You're not going to call it. You should never call any woman that ever. Ever, ever, ever. Guys shouldn't use that word. Even if you call another guy that. Kyra, that's cool. Yeah, he's a fun character. I agree. And that's what's cool, Kyra. That's what's cool about you. You can look and say, hey, maybe I don't agree with this, but I look at this guy, and maybe the next case you'll agree. But you could appreciate his humor and his wit, and that's awesome. I think something we could all agree to. Tall man is an asshole. Honeybee is a beautiful person. Yeah. And again, if with tall man we used his real name, would he say that? Probably not. Probably not. But that's okay. Oh, that's okay, Mommy. It works out for me this year. The last one I wanted to do in November. I really wanted to do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get the time from work, but I'm able to do it here in April. Brandon. What's up, Brandon? How are you, my friend? Jinx will be there. Outstanding. Looking forward to you, Jinx. England and Ireland. Yeah, those both would be cool places, Melissa. I think that I'm not Irish or any English, but I just think that would be really cool. I hope if we hear about it in court. Yes, yes. All that stuff. The confession. I think it's all very important to hear it. Not just the and remember when Gall had that hearing or whatever in the back room? I didn't want to see a transcript. I wanted to hear people because I could tell more about how they're saying things, in my opinion. And I'd love to hear those. And I would assume that they're going to play them at trial, right? They have to. Captain Howdy, another fan. Jeremy likes your content as well as I do, and probably everybody in my chat. Lots of highs for you here. There's Honeybee's channel. When he put it up before. Hey, fart face. Howdy. People call it her things whatever they like. Well, I wouldn't say I'm king, but I try to be kind, but thank you for saying so. I don't want to be king. You know what? If I was king, if I was named king, I'd break my crown up and give a piece to everybody and say, here, no, let's go fuck off and do something. Let's go. True Crime Web. We're honored to have you. I was personal friends with one of the key investigators in Atlanta child murders. You're correct. They spoke often of Williams. Well, thank you, Steve. Say hi to Mrs. Steve for us. And yeah, that's it's still an interesting case to me. And what got me into it was the Mindhunter series. And then I really started diving in. But I remember watching the show as a child. I remember watching two true crime shows. The Green River Killer, there was a show on, before they knew who it was on like Fox or something. Maybe one was America's Most Wanted. And they took tips. And it was like an hour-long show. And I remember being like, as a kid, like at that age, whoa, probably should have been watching it, but I was able to sneak it in. I didn't watch the Geraldo thing whenever he was like, there's Satanism here and take your kids away from the TV. My mom wasn't going for that. So I didn't get to see that until I was older. And then I watched it like, what are you fucking kidding me? The other was there was a show about the Atlanta child murders. And I don't know if it was an old HBO show. I think it was like a cable show, an old show. And I remember like, wow, those kids, they were a little older than me at that time. But they were only 3 or 4 years older than me. So, and some of the younger ones were right in my age range. But I appreciate you for popping in, Steve, very much. And obviously, True Crime Web is a fantastic channel. He does a lot of tests, a lot of research, things like that. He drives really fast with Ruckus in the car, which is awesome. But he's doing a ton of work behind the scenes too, and as well as Ruckus. And it's good to see working out. Rescue All the Dogs is here. No problem for being late. Good to see you too. Hopefully, we're talking about the walk in April. I don't know if you're going to make it down there, Rescue. Hopefully you do. I'd love to meet you too. Boston Christian. I don't know if I said hi to you yet or not. I usually do. I was talking to you in a chat last night. Kyra, people were expecting bombshells from Westerman. He didn't technically. I'm very interested to see what Westerman has to say, Kyra. Very interested because I don't know which way he's going to go. Is he going to sell Baldwin out? Is he going to fall on a grenade for Baldwin? So I find that very interesting. I think you do too. So I find that very interesting. Very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to it. Okay, which 20 of are you or Frosty? Oh yeah, Frosty on his account. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Frosty has 20 accounts. I can tell you that I have one because I am not smart enough to log in and log out of it, and that's my thing. I want to be me. If I'm going to come after you, you know, it's me coming after you, and here's the reason I'm doing it. And maybe people will agree or disagree. Well, today I will settle for your nice calm. That's okay, Carol. Mostly they are. They're usually calm. You think? Well, maybe we'll get it done then. I don't know if guys will buy stuff. On the Flora 4 site before everything happened there, I was one of the creators. They asked me for merchandise, and I didn't want any money. I said, no, you take all the money from it, which in hindsight was a good thing for me, I think now. But they had a coffee mug. Someone actually bought one. And I was like, no one's going to buy none of my shit. But, yeah, you could put it up. And if you could sell a shirt or a hat, then you keep the money for things like that. Being paid by the prosecution, patties, or defense to push narratives. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's silly, too, I think. I don't, you know. I think when this trial's over, you're going to hear from the patties. I don't know that for a fact, but I would suspect that you would. Mark safe from Frosty. You asked for a screenshot. Well, Frank, I don't know how to take one from here, so I took a picture. It was my first chat that I ever got, so I took a picture of it. That's how I roll, technology speaking wise. I'm not up there too high. I still have one kid at home, so you all saw his picture. I have one kid at home, so well, thank you, Mommy, so much. I appreciate you saying that. Means a lot when people say that. People I care about, their impressions of me matter. Let me say that before I said other people's opinions. People that I care about, their impressions matter. Tobe got back. He does. It ain't me. I mean, it's science. Look at the videos. He's walking around like, you know, I don't know if he's squatting a lot or what he's doing there, but he, you know, maybe he sits on it too much. I don't know. Well, thank you for everybody for saying all your nice things. Will the real Frosty please stand up? Ashley Schaefer, are you in here? We have a video. Will the real Frosty please stand up? Poor Frosty's probably sleeping right now because he works wild shifts. Hello, howdy, CJK. Oh, Jeremy, you a Rock Chalk Jayhawker too. They got a pretty good team. I tell you what, Purdue got a team. You guys in Indiana, you got a basketball team at Purdue. Them guys can go. There's a kid on the team too. I think he's still on the team. Ethan Morton. He's from Butler, PA. We didn't play against him, but I watched him play twice live at events we were at. We were playing next game or whatever. Unsolved Mysteries. Yes, it is. Kyrie, in one of my Kimmy Krim videos I did, I used the Unsolved Mysteries music in the background. That scared the shit out of everyone my age. So I don't know if you're my age or you look younger to me, but yeah, that scared us. The Unsolved Mystery music came on. It was like, oh shit. Cindy agrees too with the Unsolved Mysteries. The chat has been fantastic. You guys have been great. I have one more thing. I'm going to let everyone get out of here and go get my propane tank filled up. And then I'm going to make hamburgers on the grill because it's 37 degrees and sunny here in Pennsylvania. Let's see. For people to believe for people to believe that Ron Logan is bridge guy and is involved, and they say the early alibi, I got no answer for that. I have no answer for that. And that's a good reason to believe that Ron Logan's involved. 100%. I don't have an answer for why he did that. Hugely suspicious, right? Hugely. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. I don't know. And I told you about the theory. Well, I started getting into the theory, and I'll leave you with this when talking to my brother. And he thought that if, let's say there's a bullet in the chamber and it's a misfire. Say, however, you know, attempted suicide, maybe shooting one of the girls, and the bullet itself misfires. He racks that bullet out and puts another one in. And this is a guy that knows nothing about the Delphi case. He says, I could see really a lot of good evidence could come from that. When I ask him about the just ejecting it out, cycle through and eject it out, and he's a state attorney general agent, he's like, Kev, really, I don't know enough about it. I don't want to tell you one way or the other. I haven't heard of a case like that. We haven't had one like that. So I don't know. He's going to look into it and ask some people. He said the ATF does all their work on stuff like that. He said they're by far the best. He said, is the ATF involved? I said, I think it's the ISP. I don't know if they were working. He was like, if the ATF's involved and they're saying it, I believe it. He said, not to knock any local law enforcement people, because he's a local guy too at the state level. But he said that he believes that certainly could be true, but he hasn't heard about it. But again, maybe the bullet jams and he strikes that out for whatever reason, and then re-racks, starts hearing people coming. Maybe him thinking about, again, total theory, thinking about unaliving himself begins when he hears the people coming or the phone ringing. That's just total speculation on my part. But, hey, if you're watching this later, maybe we can firing pin. That's what he said, buddy Rich. Hey, my girlfriend's here. How are you, beautiful? You've seen her picture already because people have shared it. Firing pin would be indented. Yes, he said the same thing. But I don't know. I found it interesting, though. I was like, you goddamn cop. How come I didn't think of that? That's what I said. Well, we're all jackoffs in my family, so my brother knew how to take it. Captain, is your email listed on your channel? Brooke's getting ready to go to work pretty soon. She works very hard, works 2 jobs. Single mom, divorced, but does a hell of a job. I can't say enough about her. And we were just talking last night. She looks like Sheryl Crow. So how awesome is that for me? Thank you, Brandon, for coming in. I am going to get ready to get out of here. I got propane to buy, and I got hamburgers to cook. And I want to thank you all. And guys, I want to be transparent. I told you that. Know as much about me. Nothing's hidden. You know my name. You know where I work. You know where I coach basketball. Everything. And I'm totally okay with that. People that are going to attack the families, I don't have time for you. We'll clap back if we need to. And until you show some evidence. I haven't seen no evidence ever from anyone. Seen a lot of attacking and a lot of Jerry Springer stuff. And I had my own Jerry Springer show 2 weeks ago. And anything that came out of that is fair. Even if you talked about my family, that's flack that I take. I still would never talk about anyone else's family ever. No matter what they say or do about me. My family's tough. And if I could deflect from the families of 2 murdered children for a day, it's a fair trade-off for me. You could shoot your arrows in my chest or my back, and I'll take it. For telling you guys I'm monetizing, you guys doing what you did today, really, I'm blown away by it. I'm absolutely blown away. I can't thank you enough. Like I said before, quit sending money. I feel like I don't deserve it. But thank you, all of you. The money is fantastic. The love you show me, the likes, you're spending time with me bullshitting. I really look forward to meeting as many people as possible in real life. And if I see you there at the walks, if you're from Pennsylvania and I see you in a supermarket, say, hey, I'm so-and-so on YouTube. Because like I talked to my girlfriend or guys at work. Well, who's this guy? Well, he's so-and-so. What's his name? I don't know what his name is. How old is? I don't know. Where's he from? I don't know. Is he a guy? I think so. And that's cool, though. But I wanted mine to be a little bit different. I wanted you to know who my name was, know who I am. And I want to be accountable for thank you, Mike Cunningham. I had a friend named Mike Cunningham. He passed away not too long ago from Christie Park. So I would just like you to enjoy it. If you like it, subscribe, share. If you don't, I'm not your cup of tea. That's absolutely fine too. So I appreciate it. And again, no one's going to come in here and call a woman a C word. Nobody. You're out. I block racists too. So if you're racist, you're not gonna be able to comment here. But everyone else, everything's kind of fair game. You have proof of the family. You want to send it to me, Kevlar148hotmail.com, Kevlar148gmail.com. You want information on Flora? I'll send you everything I have because the more eyes, the better. Same email. Anything I have. If I can help you with anything. If you ever ask me where to put your smoke alarms, send me a picture. I'll tell you. Anything like that. If I can help you, I'm at your service. So I'm going to get out of here. And we have a rule on my channel. Today it's Gatorade. A lot of times I drink tea out of a cart. And anytime someone says the word tentacles, we drink here. So we're going to say tentacles and drink your drink, whatever you have. Coffee, tea, beer, whiskey. You be the judge of what you ingest in yourself, not me. So I thank you all so very much. I'm really blown away by you guys. Check out all the subscribers that we talked about here, or subscribers. Check out all the creators we talked about. And some of you subscribers got some pretty good shit. Consider starting a page. There's plenty of room for you here. Consider starting a page. I think some of you can really bring some really cool stuff. Had some really funny jokes, Cindy, today. Asked Miss Westerman. Frank made fun of me for taking a picture of my computer. But that's all good fun. I enjoy it all. So I'm going to get out of here, everybody. 2 hours sleuth. Cool. I think that Fig is doing a video today, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, tea out of a carton, mother. That's how I roll, baby. Turner's tea. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do in April. I'm going to bring a couple cases of Turner's tea out. We could buy them in a little crate. And I'm going to have you guys to come out. I'm going to give everyone a Turner's tea. How about that? It's not healthy or good for you. There's a lot of sugar in it. But it tastes good. Well, thank you, Kyra. I've coached sports I haven't the last 3. I've been out the last 3, but for about 20 years before that. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all. I love you all. You guys are great. Have a great rest of your Saturday, or wherever you are in the world, Saturday night, whatever it is. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah. Well, Tall Man's out. If he comes in under a different name, he's going to use the same verbiage. So we're going to know who he is right away and boot him again. But no one's calling honeybee names in my chat. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Follow your favorite creators, like and share their videos. Help the algorithm out, which I don't understand, but I know it's important. And I hope you all have a great Saturday, great rest of the week. I love you all. Coach Cat.